How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I thought I'd do something slightly bit different. Instead of taking the Fireball Rocket Balloon army into Legends, I thought I'd share with you some of my esports attacks, which for anyone who doesn't know are done in hard mode, which is a lot more difficult than the normal mode that we have in Legends, and in my opinion leads to more exciting and more interesting attacks. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy today's video. Leave a like, leave a comment, all that stuff helps the channel out a lot. And yeah, let's just dive right into the first attack. So for our very first attack, we have a double rage base. And real quick, just before I begin this, I have identified that I could snipe this X-bow with some rocket balloons, which I do so. And that sets up a really good flame flinger, as you can see. So I've set up a flame flinger and started the warden quite far away from it because I don't want the warden to potentially get pulled over by it at a certain point in the attack. I want to keep it as far away as possible and just let it get value. I'm trying to snipe this mortar, and I will do so in a second right there, just in case the flinger passed there. The plan for this attack was to fireball the Rage Tower, which gets the clan castle, and yeah, all the defenses around. As you can see though, I have 3 quakes, and one of those quakes is for the builder huts on the backside of the clan castle. If I didn't bring that extra quake, and you'll see right now where I place it right on the clan castle to damage the builder huts so that they repair themselves. So as you see, first quake goes here, and then the second quake, 2 quakes go onto the Rage Tower. Triple Invis, probably could have gotten away with 2 Invises, but, you know, better safe than sorry, I guess. And yeah, I pulled my warden over to the top side, which, yet again, I don't really need him to go towards this monolith because I have the Flame Flinger working on that side. And what the Flame Flinger has actually done is, well, firstly, it's gotten amazing value so far, and it's going to continue getting value. And secondly, it's actually set up a funnel for my heroes. And as you see at like the 1:30-minute mark, I start my heroes so that I don't risk any kind of time fail. And yeah, so far it's pretty smooth. Honestly, like I just raged the warden here. It was a bit close, to be honest. You do have to be very, very careful with the warden and not losing him. Poisoning the heroes in hard mode is really, really good value as well. This is in normal mode as well, but in hard mode heroes, defensive heroes hit way harder, 20% harder I think, and yeah, it's just very good investment really. And yeah, just saving the warden, and as you can see, this base is completely gone at this point. So we have a double rage base, yet again. These base styles are just very common at the moment in esports. And the plan here is quite similar. I am aiming for that rage tower. And I'm going to start the warden at 6 o'clock, trying to distract the point defenses, or the ricochet cannon with the X-bow with this skeleton spell. As you see shortly, unfortunately, the ricochet cannon starts shooting through the skeleton trap, or the skeleton spell. And I'm basically forced to invest a free spell, which isn't very good. It was quite unfortunate, but we carry on. I'm trying to snipe these defenses on the left side to try to funnel the warden to that air defense so that he can step up. And, well, as planned, the jelly wears off here. And I should snipe this builder hut beside the wizard tower on the left right there. And the invises should be good now. 1, 2, 3, fireball. Right on target, double quake. And I unfortunately miss one Inferno tower. So it's not a big issue, but still, these little mistakes do add up in hard mode and can come back to bite you. So at this point I'm continuing siege barracks, having heroes on the opposite side of where the warden doesn't go. The warden does, or one of the healers dies. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but yeah, we carry on, freeze the single for the warden. Kind of a bit of multitasking here and pushing the heroes into the town hall. Just kind of staying patient. I'm gonna pop the king ability right onto this inferno, and now we're just fighting the clan castle, which is gonna take a while because actually offensive heroes are quite significantly weaker. So just staying patient yet again. I did unnecessarily use 3 rocket balloons onto a wizard tower on the left side beside that X-bow, which was quite dumb because, well, you'll see. Here I start the World Champion at 12 o'clock to try to save the heroes. I'm also invising the Queen clones to try to get a bit more value out of them. And yeah, this defense at the moment is locked onto my RC, if you can see through the letters, and it gets down my RC to like 20% health, which is crazy. I could have used those 3 rocket balloons, which I completely wasted on a wizard tower. Could have used them to help the RC at this point, and actually would have kept the RC alive. And I think I would have had enough time. I think I might have had enough time to be able to finish this one off, but unfortunately, this will be a time fail, and yeah, on to the next attack. Next up, we have a Rage Invis base, and immediately when I saw this base, I noticed that a lot of Flame Flinger value at 12 o'clock at the top side. So, sniping the mortars, placing the Flame Flinger, letting it do its thing. The plan for this attack was to fireball the Rage Tower. Yet again, in hard mode, you kind of have to be a little bit more greedy with your fireball. So, I am aiming for a deep fireball, and I want to clear out this right hand side section. As you see, I'm deploying some Rocketloons, and if you noticed, I offset my warden a little bit to the right. I didn't exactly set him from the bottom side, kind of offset him to the right side so that he kind of pushes himself towards that right side, or the jelly pushes him towards that right side, which is where I've cleared some defenses for an easier fireball. But unfortunately, he turns around and starts going for the heroes, which isn't as planned. So at this point, I have to start adjusting. I obviously have to rage and freeze here because of the defensive heroes. And at this point, I'm just kind of thinking, reevaluating. I have 5 invis spells. I still want to fireball the rage tower. But I have to change up my invis placements. And, well, perfect timing. Clan Castle comes out. I've kind of reevaluated. I'm going to do a 5 invis fireball just like so. And use the ability right before the first invis wore off, which was very, very close. I didn't even notice it during the attack, but yeah, that was very, very close. If I pulled the trigger like split second earlier, I would have fireballed that X-bow, which wouldn't have been good. But yeah, at this point, setting the heroes at 1 minute 15 seconds, which might seem late, and it kind of is, but because of that Flame Flinger working at 12 o'clock throughout the Warden charge, the heroes don't even have to take out that much of the base, as you can see. The king should open up the core for the queen to get the town hall sooner rather than later. I reach up the RC thinking that she's going to actually lock onto the minion prince, and she doesn't. So that rage was completely wasted. And, well, at least I can set a headhunter into this minion prince to take it out under rage, so I guess it was okay. The RC clears the invis, which was great as well. Now my queen and the warden join to take that out, and yeah, at this point it's just a matter of time, and we barely get this one. Here we have another double rage base, and here I'm gonna be doing a similar sort of approach as with the first attack, where I basically snipe out one of the X-bows to set up a flame flinger. As you can see, I'm also bringing a jump spell, and for this attack I thought that, well, instead of bringing a earthquake boots and the spiky ball, I'm gonna bring the giant gauntlet and the rage vial and have the king jump into the town hall compartment. So you'll see in a second. Um, because I'm bringing a jump spell, I am obviously not needing any wall breakers. So here I set up a relatively easy fireball. I was hoping that I was going to get the defensive heroes, or the royal champion and the queen, but unfortunately I missed. And well, I have a skeleton spell which I was actually planning on using at the monolith at the top side of the base, but well, I'm kind of forced to invest it on the heroes because, well, actually it turns out pretty okay. I do use a few sneaky goblins to kind of push my ward into the left hand side, which was the plan here. And as you can see, it kind of separates the flame flinger and the warden and basically creates a really nice funnel for the heroes, which I will jump into the core. So I wasn't too sure what the wall breakers were going to be doing in this situation because there's this dead space around the town hall. So yeah, I went kind of safe and I just brought the jump spell. Here I'm just kind of waiting for the warden to just step to the left a little bit so that there is no issue of him joining the heroes during the town hall, or during the hero charge into the town hall. And as you see, I send in my king and the queen here. I do have 4 normal balloons on standby. And well, the point of these 4 balloons, as you can see, I dropped them on the left side, is to push my warden a little bit to the left just to make sure that he actually stays there as the heroes are pushing through the base. I don't want the heroes to be luring the warden over because that's going to cause time issues. And yeah, that's kind of the main reason. Now I'm dropping the RC with 50 seconds left. I do have a rage spell for her, and the plan was to drop the skeletons onto the, or the skeleton spell onto the monolith here, where the king and the minion prince are, and that would have been really good value. But since I missed the fireball, I'm forced to, well, I was forced to use the skeleton spell early, and well, unfortunately the royal champion dies, but I was able to take out the monolith, which was very, very clutch because, well, as you see, there's no other defenses left except for these at 10 o'clock. And, well, the heroes are still alive, but you don't have to take out the heroes to get the triple. So here we do get a bit lucky, honestly. And, yeah, we get the triple. Okay, so this time around we have a double poison base. And yet again, I've identified that I could set up a flame flinger on this right hand side, which is going to get me just quite significant amount of free value, basically. So I'm going to set it up, snipe the mortar, set it up, let it do its thing. The plan for this attack is to fireball the builder hut beside this monolith, and I don't bring the jelly because there aren't actually many defenses around this area, but also, unfortunately, I forgot to drop the skeleton spell, which I was supposed to drop earlier for this ricochet cannon, so I am forced to rage up, which isn't great because it kind of pushes my warden to go a little bit faster than I kind of wanted him to. Also, there's Teslas, so I have to account for those. And at this point, he's kind of going towards his bottom side, so I adjust and I snipe this air defense, and I set up a triple invis, just like I was kind of planning on doing before. Triple invis hitting the target directly, which is great. And well, the plan here, yet again, I'm bringing 4 normal balloons. I should have waited for the warden to just take out that X-bow because, well, would have just taken him out for basically like 5 seconds. Nothing too bad. Would have pulled him over, but I didn't. So that was a little bit of an issue because I guess I was a little bit panicked that he was heading the wrong direction. But all good. At this point, I am still keeping an eye out on the warden, just making sure that he doesn't die. And yes, sending the Sui in at the moment. The minion prince is very tough to deal with in hard mode, so I have to be very, very careful. I send a headhunter and I rage the warden yet again, because I didn't have any free spells. At this point you can see the flame flinger got a lot of value, and now I have some super minions basically coming out of it, and I pop the king, queen, just basically pushing through the town hall at the moment, and at 1 minute mark I send the royal champion. Probably could have waited a little bit, you don't have to send her that early, but yeah, at this point I think the base is pretty much gone. The only issue here is this queen, which I just poison over. Also a little bit early, maybe I could have waited a little bit to kind of have the poison effect last while the heroes are fighting her, but yeah, in this case, as you see, it's a pretty convincing triple. So yet another double rage base, and yet again, I'm gonna actually use a flame flinger in this case, because, well, there's a little bit of value on this right hand side, and the plan for this one is kind of similar. You basically fireball one of the rage towers, which is usually just very good value. As you see, I'm kind of setting up the fireball by sniping out a few defenses at this 8 o'clock side, and raging up the warden. I invis the warden, which I guess was necessary because there was a double X-bow on the warden, plus that ricochet cannon, so yeah, that rage spell wasn't enough. And yeah, I'm basically setting up a funnel on that right side, kind of paying attention to the warden now. Gonna fireball with just one invis, which is great. Gets really good value. Double quake to finish off the defenses, and yet again I brought 4 normal balloons, which I would use to kind of redirect the warden if needed, but actually the funnel is pretty clear for him, so I don't need to use those. I want him to go to the top side towards that royal champion. And in the meantime, I'm kind of setting up a funnel for my heroes to go right into this queen compartment with the rage. Actually, I got quite lucky, and this rage tower activated to a rocket balloon, which was quite nice actually. And yeah, just dealing with the RC, and now that the warden is safe, I start my Sui at 130 remaining. So far so good. I mean, I even triggered that rage tower, which is going to help out a lot. And yeah, I also planned out to snipe this monolith with a few rocket balloons, which I will do in a second. And raging the Sui, fighting this CC, freezing the town hall while I fight the CC. The super minions actually take out the monolith by themselves, and the warden is fairly safe. I do have a rage and an invis, which I invest into the queen, which was a good investment, honestly. And here I have one headhunter left. There isn't that much of the base left, but I sent that headhunter in to try to help the queen, which, I mean, it was kind of like, yeah, you see it got sniped off, and actually we have this king at the moment, which is proving to be a real issue, as you can see. It's 20 seconds left, seems like I got it, but yeah, the queen is just gonna get absolutely crushed by this king without this headhunter. As you can see, it's not even close. And the warden is very, very slow. And also he does not do that much damage. And as you can see, it's barely a time fail, this one. Okay, so next up I have this replay from the Creative Masters Series tryouts that were hosted by Carbon Finn, and the basic idea is to try to get to 80%. Obviously this is done in hard mode, and you're supposed to try to reach 80% with a non-meta army or non-meta approach to a base. And yeah, I won't try to explain this, I'll just let you guys watch. Basically, I'm trying to set up a flame flinger at this point, sniping the king with the queen and recalling her out. And unfortunately I left one healer behind, so yeah, didn't account for that. I set up the flame flinger, which actually gets a lot of value, but gets sniped by a multi-mortar later on in the attack, which actually limited its value. And here I'm sending the minion prince with the angry jetty. Obviously he surges forward from defense to defense. I activate his ability, and I basically do a little bit of a cut out of this left hand side section. By doing this, the warden gets hit through the minion prince and takes a lot of damage, which was unforeseen by me. I didn't expect that to happen. So we recalled him out as planned, again as planned. The warden did take damage, but yeah, it's okay. Here I'm trying to set up a fireball. I'm aiming for this rage tower. So I'm gonna recall the two heroes back in, double invis, and pop the warden ability. Obviously both of the heroes die off pretty quickly after that. And now I see, yeah, the flame flinger did not get the intended value. It actually got sniped off by the multi-mortar, which I should have sniped off. I didn't expect it to path that way, but yeah, it did at the end. And here I'm pushing the Sui. I recall the queen back in, and now I'm pushing the Sui into the town hall to secure the 2-star. Since these walls were planned to have been opened by the flame flinger, I opt for Rage Gem or Rage Vial and the Gauntlet for the king. And I am desperately trying to clean up at this point, because I'm keeping in mind that I need 80% minimum. And honestly, it's looking pretty good. Still have the queen ability and still quite a few cleanup troops around the base. But yeah, it's going to be very close. The queen ability gets forced, and trying to take out this monolith. As you can see, 75%. I have this gold storage, which is going to go down, potentially, to that wizard. But yeah, unfortunately, there's just not enough time, and yeah, I end up getting 78%. So for the final attack, we have this core rage base, which I've shown on the channel before, or I've shown this attack on the channel before. Not many of you guys have seen it, so I thought I'd put it into the video regardless. And the plan is basically to fireball that rage tower. You kind of have to be a little bit greedy, as I was saying, in hard mode, because you need more value from your nerfed fireball. Here I actually missed the freeze spell, which forces me to use an extra rage. And well, as you can see, I'm just trying to trim out some defenses to make the Invis spell setup a little bit easier. And since I actually took out, or since I used the rage spell, the warden actually went downwards towards that ricochet cannon, which wasn't really planned. So I have to use one less invis, which is quite nice, I guess. And quadruple invis, fireball, right on target, perfect. And yet again, I brought 4 normal balloons. So the plan was to basically have the warden go towards this monolith area. And I wasn't planning on this right hand side section to go down, but it did. So those 4 loons were absolutely terrible. Like, they just were completely wasted here, and yeah, they were supposed to actually drag the warden towards this mono, but have to adjust at this point, and I sent the Sui into this monolith. Should be fine. I do send the ice golem into this archer tower, which I should have sniped so that the ice golem actually went into this section with the monolith and actually froze it, because yeah, the mono at the moment is completely smashing my king into pieces, and it's just, yeah, it's already gone to auto ability. So that's not great, but carrying on, wall breaking into the next compartment for the heroes, and 1 minute left on the clock. Honestly, not too bad. The majority of the defenses are obviously gone with that fireball. Do still have the CC to deal with though, so I'm staying a bit patient here, and I'm waiting for the CC to get lured out so that, yeah, I can deal with that with the warden. And the queen is gonna be able to take out this left-hand side area, sending the RC to secure the 2-star at this point. 30 seconds remaining. I'm popping the queen ability and actually invising her, which probably should not have done. As you can see, the RC starts taking damage, and queen is not going to do anything here. She's just going to beat on walls, and I needed that RC here to help with the cleanup. As you can see, there's about 6 seconds left. The warden is barely doing any damage, and 3, 2, 1, and we get hit with another 99%.